Simplifying radicals homework, starting with number 6, 2, square root 72. Step 1, stare at your radicand and use your number sense. What numbers multiply to get 72? There's often different answers. Haytham's already got one ready for us. Go with 9 and 8. Neither of those are neither of those are prime. So we don't circle either of them. Neither of them are dead ends. So we keep going. Oh, I found a prime number. Keep going. Keep going until you get to a dead end. When you get to a dead end, you circle it. Now, when you do the next step, you're only allowed to look at the things that are circled. You're not looking at the 8, the 4, the 9, or the 72. Those have been expanded. You're not allowed to look at them. You're only looking at the ones that are circled. Now, what I want you to do first every time is look to see if you already had an escapee. If you already had a number that escaped jail, and we did. That 2 was already out there. So the very first thing I do is take care of my 2. That was already there, not the one from down in my bubble. Okay, next thing we do is find a pair, cross them out so you know you used them, and document that they escaped jail. A 3 escapes jail. Look for pairs, pairs only, always pairs, only pairs. Found a pair of 2s, document that it escaped jail, and then look to see what the leftovers are. There is only one number left over, so our radicand is only 2. More than one thing escapes or more than one thing is stuck, you multiply them back together. That's how you put them back together. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. What do you think a common mistake is on this problem, on the quiz? You got it. A lot of people forget about this guy out here. They don't multiply by 2, so they get 6 root 2, and I can give you 0 credit for that. That is such a different number than 12 root 2. All right, next one. Everyone look at number 12 with me. We've got 3 root 5 squared. Those parentheses are there for a reason. When you see this one on the quiz, I told my students in first grade to do this, I want you to bold the parentheses. I want you to outline them. I want you to trace the parentheses, because those are the key to this problem. Because the square is outside the parentheses, it's saying square every term in the parentheses. All of them. No special treatment here. Everybody gets squared. So the 3 gets squared, and the square root of 5 gets squared. Yep, that's what most people forget. Okay, so 3 squared is 9. Square root of 5 squared is not 25, just 5. 9 times 5, 45. Yay. Those will always produce a whole number. The ones where you're squaring everything inside the parentheses, you should get a whole number or you did something wrong. 19. Ooh, this is a good one. I would probably say this is one of the harder ones on your worksheet, because if you make even one mistake factor tree, then you get the whole problem wrong, because it's dependent on combining all those terms. Okay. So, your goal is to factor tree everybody. I've already taught factor treeing, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. I'm going to go with 6 and 3 this time, just for kicks. All right, there was already a 2 out front. I write that down. A 3 escapes. I write that down. 2 left over. Done with 2 root 18. Moving right along. 72. What do you want to do here? What factors? 9 and 8. 4, 2, 2, 2. Circle, circle, circle. 3, 3, circle. Whew, that's a lot. There was a plus sign, so I'm bringing that plus sign down. A 3 escapes. And a 2 escapes. We're left. Look at that. The radicand is 2 once again. All right, next one. 200. Might as well do 2 and 100, right? You want to do that? Cool. I'm going to tell you something right here. When you find a pair, even if they are not prime, you're allowed to skip a step and let them escape jail automatically. You do not need to expand those 10s. If you ever, when you're factoring any pairs you ever find, you are welcome to let them escape jail right then and there without expanding them. Pairs are what we're looking for because these are square roots. 2 is an emphasis. So I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to circle them because they're not primed, but a 10 escapes. I'm going to drag this negative down. A 10 escapes, and a 2 is left over. So notice how I kept these plus and minus. So now we've got 6 radical 2 plus 6 radical 2 minus 10 radical 2. Those are all like terms. So we are allowed to add them together. 6 plus 6 minus 10. 12 minus 10. That's smiley. That one was a doozy. Okay, 27. Square root of 8 divided by square root of 3. Here's what you check first. Am I allowed to divide those? Is 8 divisible by 3? Because I can divide them if they're both in the radicand. Darn, no. 8's not divisible by 3. On your checklist, you wrote, it is not proper to have a radical in the denominator. So we have no choice but to rationalize. When we rationalize, we look at what's in the denominator, and we write the fanciest number 1 we've ever seen. We write a number 1, except it represents the denominator over the denominator. Square root of 3 over square root of 3. We are not changing the fraction at all, we're just rearranging the numbers. So when we multiply these two, square root of 3 times square root of 3, we get 3. Square root of 8 times square root of 3, ooh, square root of 24. Now we go back to our checklist, and we're like, oh, well, we got rid of the radical in the denominator, but 24, that's not fully simplified. There are perfect squares in 24. So, man, I'm going to go off to the side, actually, and I'm just going to factor tree 24. Woo, that was fun. Okay, so what escaped? A 2 escaped. What's left? 3 times 2, 6. Is that what we're getting? What a rush. Ta-da! So that's the final answer. It's a shame that these two didn't kind of cancel out or reduce, but that's no big deal. You like these now? Oh, good. Last one, 28. 8 square root 14 divided by square root 4. We did the warm-up for a reason. I want you to always be on high alert. Be on lookout for blank blanks. What are those? What are my blanks? Perfect squares. Be on the lookout for perfect squares. They will simplify your life so very much. No, I'm not going to divide 14 by 4 or reduce 14 divided by 4 because it could be reduced. I'm going to cross this out, and I'm going to write what square root of 4 is, what it equals. It's 2. Plain old 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Oh my goodness. We're totally done. End of that story. That was quick. Yay.